Hi everyone, Taylor here, Enji's founder. Now in this video, I wanted to show you how Enji uses Enji's social media scheduler to keep on top of all of the things that we've got going out on the different platforms. And I wanted to dive into this today because I know that keeping up with social media is one of those things that stresses you out because it feels like this insatiably hungry monster that just can't ever get enough. And posting on the fly is absolutely exhausting. So my hope and goal for today's video is to show you exactly how I use it personally in hopes that it inspires you to start doing your future self a favor by pre-scheduling out some of your content using a social media scheduler. So what you can see in front of me is Enji's marketing calendar. I will always say this, if you're watching this for the first time and seeing my marketing calendar and thinking, that looks like a lot, the big ol' asterisk on all of this is that I spend the majority of my time doing marketing things, hence all of the marketing things on my calendar. But you as a small business owner who is wearing all of the hats, who is doing your own marketing, your marketing calendar should not look like this. So that aside, let's dive in. So our social media scheduler is embedded into our calendar, but it's also accessible here in the copywriter. So depending on how your brain works, if you like to start with the actual content and getting things built before scheduling it out, or you like to start in the calendar, whatever floats your boat, you can do it either way. I personally, because I'm showing you how I use Enji social media calendar and scheduler, I start in the calendar. So when I am sitting down to get ahead of the game, and you can see here that I've got a recurring task every other week to sit down on Fridays and spend a couple hours pre-scheduling content. The first thing that I do, good old pencil and paper, because I know that figuring out what exactly it is you're going to post on social media is a bit of a this might work here, that might work there. And so it's a living, breathing process. So you do not have to do everything in the social media schedule. If your brain works best by using a piece of paper to get the messy version out first, please, by all means, do that. So after I have figured out, okay, these are the types of pieces of content that I want to produce on each day, and this is what it's going to be about high level, then what I personally do is I jump in here to the calendar and I start to add social media posts for each day that I want one to go live. Now, our content pace is that we post Monday through Friday a new piece of content. So I've just gone through and added an Instagram post on the scheduler for each one of those days. Now, the next thing that I personally do, again, because we're talking specifically about Instagram right now, and Instagram is such a visual platform, and hi, my name is Taylor. I am a creative cat, and I care about how my grid looks because I want it to be balanced and on brand. So if that is you too, then after you've done that and you've connected your social media accounts, you can click this preview Instagram feed. And what it does is it brings up Enji's visual planner for Instagram that's embedded in the social media scheduler. Now, the thing that makes ours different and that I personally love so much is that when you've got a post on the calendar but nothing in it, it puts a gray box here on your grid. So instead of having to imagine a space in between, two posts, you actually see the space. And so now I can tell, okay, well, I'm clearly not, again, if I'm being picky, I'm not going to put something with my face right here on Monday because then it's going to be my face stacked on top of one another. And I don't personally dig that. So when I'm thinking about, okay, what piece of content is going to go where, when I'm looking back at this paper calendar that I have, done my messy notes on, I can then move things around, be like, okay, this looks and feels how I want. So one of the other really great things is as you're doing this, you can use the slider to see how your grid is going to change as each post goes live. Again, just for the creative cats who care maybe a little bit too much about this. Hi, my name is Taylor, it me. So once I've done that, I'm going to go in and I'm just going to start, creating each one of the posts. So I choose to write my own captions because in my previous life, but also very much in my current life, I am a copywriter. So I don't have a problem finding the words, which you can also see by the fact that I don't have a problem finding the words coming out of my mouth either. So they come out my fingers just as well. So I go in and I draft my captions. And then after I've done that, I'm then working to create all of the graphics. Now, sometimes I'm repurposing graphics that I know are going to be like, they're very much on brand. They're the things that I need to be a broken record about. So like KPI day is a great example. So I just have this piece of media marked in my favorites. So it's here. I can just click it. It's now the graphic for this post. And now I would just have to finish the caption and schedule it to go out on July 1st because that is KPI day. That's where we celebrate putting in all of our marketing metrics into our dashboard on the 1st of every month. So I would get it scheduled, approve it for publish to go out at this time. And then from there, I don't have to worry about it. It's just going to automatically publish to Enji's Instagram account. And then my only responsibility from there on out is to do the storying that I need to do for that day. So that's how I use Enji's social media scheduler. Again, if your brain doesn't work this way, you can very easily go into the copywriter and start here where, hey, I want to draft an Instagram caption or I want to do a Facebook post. I'm going to come in here. I'm going to use the copywriter or not. And then I'm going to get it scheduled to go live all on its own. So when it comes to one of the biggest ways that you can do your future self a favor, it's by using a social media scheduler, because what this allows you to do is to get ahead, to work ahead, because you've gone in, you've taken care of the posts for the next week or two, and then you don't have to obsess about what am I going to post today. It's already done and scheduled. It's already going to go live. So you can get on with your life and do one of the other 17,005 things that you have on your list for the day. So if you haven't yet tried out a social media scheduler or you haven't tried out Enji's social media scheduler, I'd love for you to do that. You can do that for free by starting a 14-day trial. It only takes a couple minutes to get your accounts connected, and then you can dive right in. And if you have any questions, drop them in the comments or get in touch with us through the little chat bubble that you see in the lower right-hand corner of the screen, because we're always here to help.